In the past 5 years, more than 100 men and women have died trying to cross this stretch of water. People, each one with a dream and a story. Terrible disaster struck a boat of 34 passengers on Lake Victoria on the 2nd of August 2023, leaving many dead. Here is the story in the Daily Monitor. On the 2nd of August 2022, the Daily Monitor, at least 20 people are feared dead after a passenger boat they were traveling in capsized on Lake Victoria in the wee hours of Wednesday morning. The ill-fated giant boat, locally known as Chinala, was transporting passengers and cargo from Luanabatia landing site in Chamswa County, Kalangala district, to Kasenyi landing site near Entebbe in Wakiso district, according to fishermen. The boat was reportedly hit by strong winds near Nsanzi Island on Lake Victoria in Mukono district. While it is believed that 30 people were on board, 10 survivors have been rescued by fishermen, according to Mr. Noah Kiza, a fisherman.
The boat was ferrying 34 people and cargo between islands in Lake Victoria when it capsized. Strong winds whipped up a storm, flipping the boat over. Fishermen and marine police rescued 8 people and retrieved 20 bodies. 5 people are still missing.
We came to the lake at 5 in the morning. There were too many of us on the boat. There was also cargo. The weather was not good. Very soon, water started seeping into the boat. People started screaming. Everyone was trying to survive. The boat capsized.
People living around Lake Victoria depend on boats to move around, visit family, and trade. Many say boat journeys are often dangerous, but they have no choice. Accidents are common.
Most of the boats are old and overloaded with people and cargo. Owners do what they want because they want to make money.
Relatives prepared to bury their dead in the latest in a series of accidents that have plagued Ugandan passengers. They have no choice but to hope that this time their government will take action to improve conditions and protect them.
Marine rescuers said 5 bodies had been recovered by last evening. Fishermen from neighboring shores said the ill-fated large boat was transporting 34 passengers and cargo. Also aboard was a large cargo including several bags of charcoal, fresh foods and silverfish. Quoting early reports from on near the scene, Kampala Metropolitan Police spokesman SSP Patrick Onyango yesterday blamed the tragic incident on overloading and terrible weather conditions. The craft is reported to have run into a strong windstorm off Jana Islet as it headed for Kasenyi landing site near Entebbe in Wakiso district. As the craft's skipper struggled to maintain control, the winds reportedly dragged it off course and pushed it in the opposite direction towards Nsanzi Island in Mukono district. Somewhere along the way, the elements tragically prevailed, flipping the heavily laden craft over and dumping terrified passengers into Lake Victoria's stormy waters. It is true the boat was overloaded. I reached a point and realized that we were headed for disaster when the skipper shouted that the boat is sinking. I was already praying to God to save us, but unfortunately, it is only a few lucky ones who survived, Mr. Lawrence Kiza said yesterday. Mr. Kiza revealed that most of his fellow travelers didn't have life jackets, and for some of those who had them, they were generally poor quality, which didn't help. Usually, when the boat is sailing at night, occupants tend to ignore wearing jackets even when they are available. But today, I have learned how useful those jackets are, he said. Pastor Joseph Lule, another survivor, said he survived by desperately hanging onto the frame of the capsized boat, calling out for help. The Lord must have heard his prayers, because luckily for him, a man in another boat close by had his cries for help and rescued him. Their fate appeared to have been sealed the moment the weather changed, whipping up the relatively calm waters into a thundering mass of huge waves, according to the pastor. When the strong wave hit our boat near Jana Island, even the engine eventually stopped working. The skipper completely lost control of the boat and the waves pushed us towards Zanzi in Mukono district. The Prophet's Diary dated Friday, July 15th at 10:53 a.m. during a prayer preparation meeting for Kenya in 2022. The matter, prayer of preservation in Uganda. He says, I see another water vehicle capsize. We declare that lives shall be preserved. After the death of the 25 passengers, NTV Uganda tweets, a section of members of parliament representing island constituencies has accused the central government of not doing enough to ensure the safety of people who use water transport. Plans are underway by the Ministry of Health to have 4 boat ambulances operating on Lake Victoria as a protective measure to reduce death from water accidents. The nation's altar grieves with the families of those who lost their lives and urges us to continue praying for the nation because God's voice is with the church.
If it had not been the Lord who was on our side, when men rose up against us, then they had swallowed us up quick when their wrath was kindled against us. Then the waters had overwhelmed us. The stream had gone over our soul. Then the proud waters had gone over our soul. Blessed be the Lord who has not given us as prey to their teeth. Our soul is escaped as a bird out of the snare of the fowler. The snare is broken and we are escaped. Our help is in the name of the Lord who made Uganda. That same God made heaven and earth, and he made this nation.